supposedly Donovan Mitchell going to the New York Knicks is no longer a possibility. That ship has sailed. That's no longer a thing. That he's looking at Jalen Brunson and being, dang, that could have been me, buddy. How much validity is that? Brian Windhorst is saying. I don't know if Donovan Mitchell, the Knicks thing is a real possibility. He's got to be looking at Brunson, feeling down like that could have been me. I guess. I mean, first off, Donovan Mitchell in Cleveland has been killing it. And I've talked about this at length before. I thought he's looked like an MVP candidate. I thought he's looked fantastic. And for me, he's been one of the more fun guys in the NBA this year. Especially when, I mean, Garland's been struggling this year, but even when Garland was out, you were just getting a chance to see Donovan just do what Donovan can do. And that's just being an absolute freaking maestro. It feels like sometimes he's just one of the few guys on this planet that can do things that only he can do. So for me, when you seeing him this year on a team that clearly I feel like has gotten just better and better as the season has progressed, and I've really enjoyed the fact that they've been able to build this foundation with Donovan. And I agree that I don't think he'd go to New York. I think New York likes what they have built, and I think it's more in the realm that I think Donovan at this point likes what he has in Cleveland. And I don't know if he'll stay in Cleveland long term. I think he'll re-sign in Cleveland and then ask for a trade, but he'll exhaust his options in Cleveland, or they would have to get the brakes beat off of them this year in the playoffs like they did last year. And then next year, the same thing's got to happen where you just realize, oh, this is a hopeless situation. Because at that point, I realistically think that, look, I think that with the way that league parity is going, the NBA is preferring that there's like a 1-star, 1 max guy on each team, and you're able to basically foster this kind of culture of not having people move as much. And I do think he'll move, but again, not through free agency because he'll lose money. I think he'll sign with the Cavaliers, give them a season to really try to fix it, really try to do everything to make it an ideal situation. And then if that still is not enough, I think that's when he asked for a trade to Miami. He asked for a trade to Phoenix. He asked for a trade to wherever the hell you think he could end up. Los Angeles, yada yada. But yeah, I doubt that he ends up in New York. I mean, maybe Brooklyn. Brooklyn's always a possibility. I think a Mikal Bridges and Donovan Mitchell duo would be nice. I do believe you would have to give up a lot of your young guys if you're Brooklyn. And I don't know if Brooklyn has the assets in terms of players that the Caps want. And again, it's always hard to see. I always say this, that trades a player of his caliber within the division, because it is so hard to find players of that caliber on a regular basis. They just don't grow on trees. So most people are rather reluctant to trade someone of Donovan Mitchell's caliber. When you do get obviously when you're fortunate enough to have someone like that enter your team's, building and facilities, you just don't usually let those guys go. So for me, I think that's one of the bigger things and bigger reasons why I just can't see the Caps letting him walk. But that's it. I want to hear your guys' thoughts.